vlogging a little bit today. Today I am getting my COVID vaccine, and I'm not going to be filming when I'm actually getting my jab, but I'll be filming when like after the sort of side effects I get from it, if I have any, and sort of how it went. So yeah, I'm going to be going to the hospital after work to get this done. FYI, I am a healthcare worker, so that is why I'm getting it early. So fingers crossed it all goes well. So I'm just waiting for my chauffeur, which is my dad. I've printed out all my paperwork, and yeah, I guess we just have to see what it's like. My colleague got it done the day before me, so I know that apparently it's quite military based, like it's quite like in order, so we'll have to see from my experience on how it goes. So about to go in. So I just wanted to basically talk to you about the procedure of getting your COVID vaccine. I didn't want to film whilst getting the vaccine, obviously. I don't think I would even be allowed to. I don't know the rules and regulations of that. And to be honest, I didn't really want to film either, like queuing up. I didn't want to film the whole process because people are nervous, people are scared, and they don't really want some stranger filming them without consent, you know what I mean? So I just wasn't vibing that. I just thought I would chat to you about the process. I arrived at the hospital and I arrived really early. I was like an hour early, but the queues were massive. They're not all the time, I've heard, but the time I went, there was just tons of people. So I queued up. I had to go up to this lady at this desk and basically show her my ID. So I had my driving license, I had my company I work for, because I work in healthcare, so I had to prove that I work for healthcare, obviously. And then you go to another desk with another lady on it who gives you the form, who basically makes you write out all allergy related things, if your details are correct, etc. There was this huge like auditorium. It looked like something out of a stage where the audience sit, and you had to sit down there. There was loads of people in there, and you just sort of separate yourself from each other, and you just fill out this form, and then you go to this lady who is in like a luminous jacket, and you give the form to her. She'll check it over. I have allergies, so she straight away was like, you need to see the doctor. And I was like, where's the doctor? And he was like sitting in the corner of the auditorium, and bless him, he like must be there all day just checking on patients who are, have certain medications, etc. And straight away looked at my sheet. He was like, okay, you're all right, that's absolutely fine. And it was just really nice to know there was a doctor on site in case, there was anything wrong with you that you couldn't get the vaccine. So I found that really good. And then I went through to another room. As I said, it's so processed, there's so many steps, but it was so straightforward and to the point. So then I went into the other room. There was a guy at another desk, and he had the little cards that you're seeing probably everywhere of people posting that they got vaccinated. So that's where you get the card. And he basically wrote out the day of my vaccine, and then he booked me an appointment there and then for my second vaccine, because obviously you have to have two. A lot of people that I know went to other clinics and hospitals didn't get a second appointment, so I was quite lucky. But when I asked him if I could either change the appointment or if I could get it done elsewhere, because I did travel quite a long way to get this first vaccine, I was kind of hoping I could get the second one done locally, but he said no. He was quite firm. He was really nice, but he was quite firm, and he was like, you have to get it done here again, and you have to get it done this day because there's not enough time to reschedule the appointment. And I was like, okay. So I just went with the flow, and I was like, I'll make it work, it's fine. So that was a bit of a bummer, but I was really happy to get a second appointment. And at the end of the day, we're in a pandemic, you just have to make time for these things, obviously. So then I went through to another room which was the vaccine room, and there was a big queue. The queue went down really fast, and there was like these booths behind the walls so no one could see you. And I got a lovely nurse, a young girl, not like young, but like a little bit older than me. And she was so lovely. She went through everything with me, all the side effects, gave me a side effect sheet with all the documents and information on it. And she also gave me, obviously, my card. She filled it out completely because it has to be obviously approved by a nurse. And yeah, and she did the jab. I got it done on my right arm. There's like nothing to show here, but yeah, I got it done on the right arm because I'm left-handed, and it was a little bit pinchy. Like I could really feel it going in, I'm not gonna lie, but it was just like the jab I had with like cervical cancer or whatever. It was literally just a jab. It was just a pinch, and that was it. Didn't feel really that much. And then you get brought to another room, which is a big tent full of people. It was decorated with all these NHS things that people had made for the NHS, like big posters and things like that. It was really sweet. And it had like beach chairs in it and coffee machines and snacks and food. And everyone was having like a coffee and a biscuit and stuff. And we were like chatting to each other from like a distance and basically asking like, where do you work and things like that. And you have to stay there for 15 minutes. There's a person in there to keep an eye on you. And yeah, and basically after 15 minutes you leave and then you're free to go. And so far, I've had a little bit of a headache. I'm not gonna lie, I keep rubbing my head because I'm like a little bit I don't know, headachy, but not too much, obviously. And my arm is a little bit numb. Like I can actually move it still, but I have a feeling tomorrow I'm not going to be able to move it past here. But I will obviously update this video if that was the case. And yeah, so it's just a bit numb. That's all it is, really. So I have to say, like, I would get the vaccine. It hasn't done anything to me. As you can see, I'm in a perfectly healthy state. Obviously, if that does change, I will update this video. Hi everyone. So I just thought I'd update this video. I filmed the last video, and about, I would say, an hour after I filmed that video, I was watching the news and all of a sudden my head started pounding. Like, I mean, I had a headache before, but my head was really pounding and I could feel it. And all of a sudden my ears started going a little bit blurry, like in and out, and they started pounding as well. And I thought, oh, like this doesn't feel quite right. I felt like I was going to pass out. So what I did was I got in my comfy clothing, sort of waddled downstairs, and my mum made me dinner and I just got some food down me. I was watching my show, but at the point I couldn't even watch the TV, like my eyes started hurting. So I was like, oh god, like, you know, when you've got anything bright like a device in your eyes when you're feeling rubbish and you just have to turn all the lights off. I turned all the lights off and I just passed out onto my sofa. Like, I didn't literally pass out, but I just completely zoned out. I fell asleep. About half an hour ago, I've started to sort of come back to life. I woke up and I feel much better. I've turned on all the lights. I've been on YouTube, so I'm feeling a lot better, which is great. I think, for me personally, vaccines are never really good with me. Like, I remember the cervical cancer jab, there was about 3 of those, and all 3 I felt like really strange and I fainted, and you know, this was sort of like fainting symptoms as well. So I think personally I just don't react well to vaccines. Potential side effect a bit later on is that you will start to feel tired and you will need to drink plenty of water. So make sure you are hydrated, you are keeping an eye on yourself. If you even get the little bit of pounding or a little bit of headache, take a paracetamol straight away. That will definitely help. But yeah, I don't know, I just felt like completely zoned out all of a sudden. It was very unpleasant, I'm not going to lie. It wasn't a nice feeling and I felt very, all I can say is strange. I just felt strange. Hi everyone. So it's been about a week, probably more actually now. So maybe just over a week and a half since I've had the jab. And I just want to show you something that came up today. So I think you can already see, but it's gone red, and when you feel it, it's like swollen and it feels like a lump. So I know that she did say that itching, like a rash, can happen after the jab. So it did itch as well, this, so it is quite itchy. So that's quite normal. And then I've heard that usually when you feel like a sort of lump, which I'm guessing is the swelling, then it means that they've got a good one. But obviously, if it doesn't go away, then I might have to call the doctors and find out if I need to get it checked. But if it goes away in 2 days, then this is obviously a potential side effect that can happen. Hi everyone, so I just wanted to come back on here today to give the full update of how I'm feeling with my jab and everything like that. And this is going to be the final video, so I'm alive and I feel fine. So the bump that I showed you the other day has completely gone. It's no longer on my arm, feels completely fine. That was literally just for that day. It was itchy and it did swell up, but that was for one day, I think a week after, and now we're in the second week, so it's completely gone. And they usually say the jab basically starts working after the second week, and I'm in week 2 and I feel fine. So yeah, now I've just got to wait for the second one really. I might do a blog on the second one as well. And I actually just wanted to go through, whilst this is the last video together, I wanted to go through the side effects of COVID-19. This is the official sheet that they gave me. This is for Pfizer. And I'm just going to go through probably possible side effects. I don't think any of the other information is really useful because it's mostly medical jargon. So yeah, basically they also do say on here at the front, reporting of side effects. Obviously it's a new vaccine, so if you get anything outside of the following side effects I'm about to go through with you, do need to report those side effects, because it could be something that other people get and they just haven't reported it yet. So, possible side effects. Most side effects are mild or moderate and will go away within a few days of appearing. If side effects such as pain and or fever are troublesome, they can be treated by medicines for pain and fever, such as paracetamol. They do tell you to take a paracetamol as soon as you get home from taking the jab. I stupidly didn't, and that is probably why I felt extremely sick and sleepy around that time. But I did take a paracetamol when I started feeling sick, and then I felt fine. So paracetamol definitely does work by sort of taking away any like sicky pains and also any like headaches or anything like that. So, side effects may occur with following frequencies. Very common, may affect more than 1 in 10 people. This is the following: pain at injection site, I had; tiredness, I had; headache, I had; muscle pain, I had; chills, I didn't really have, but can imagine that being common; joint pain, not really; and fever, yeah, you do feel a bit run down. You do feel like you're going to catch a cold, even if you're not really going to catch a cold, but you might catch a cold, but it doesn't mean that you have COVID. It could just be a side effect of having the jab, but obviously it's always good to get tested just in case. And these are just common, so they're not very common, they're just common. This affects up to 1 in 10 people. So this is injection site swelling, yeah, that's what I had the other day; redness at injection site, had the other day; and nausea. And then this is uncommon but can still happen. It may affect 1 in 100 people. So that is enlarged lymph nodes and feeling unwell. So as some jabs do, you might get worse before it gets better. That just happens with some people. As I said though, if none of your side effects are any of the following, then please report it. It may help thousands of other people and will help yourself included by getting, correct treatment. And reporting of side effects, here we go. If you get any side effects, talk to your doctor, pharmacist or nurse. This includes any possible side effects not listed yet on this leaflet. You can also report side effects directly via the coronavirus yellow card reporting site. Now, this is quite a long link, so I'm going to put this link in the description so that people can report any possible side effects that way. Or search the MHRA yellow card in the Google Play or Apple App Store and include the vaccine brand and batch lot number if available. That will be on your blue cards, this card that you get given, and it will have basically the name of the vaccine, batch number, date given. It will have everything. I believe people are going to have to start, keeping these, and they want you to laminate them once the second one's been done, so it has like your first and your second one. It also says by reporting side effects you can help provide more information on the safety of this vaccine. Now, Pfizer is, from my own knowledge, I'm not, a scientist, medical professional, I'm not any of those things. I just work in admin, but from what I've heard, it is obviously a new vaccine. The Oxford one, that one is basically a more adapted version of the flu vaccine, which is why a lot of people have been waiting to have the Oxford one, because it's ingredients that people are aware of and are aware of the current side effects of. One of my colleagues did end up getting the Oxford one. He didn't even have to wait behind 15 minutes after having the jab because they trust that jab so much. Whilst the Pfizer one, you do have to wait 15 minutes after because they don't really know much about it, if I'm honest, long term wise. So obviously they've done thousands and thousands and thousands of testings on this jab, including myself. Well, I'm not one of the guinea pigs, but you know what I mean. They've injected so many people with this one, and I have a feeling the majority of the first vaccinated people are mainly the Pfizer people, including myself, because the Oxford one only came out after the Pfizer, so there wasn't that many available. It's starting to become more available, like my nan's had the Oxford, and I know other people who've had the Oxford, but the majority of people at this current moment have had Pfizer because it was the first one. So it's really a yin and a yang. I felt better having Pfizer because the majority of my colleagues had Pfizer, and I wanted the same one as everyone else just in case. I didn't want anything different. People should get a choice between what they want, either Pfizer or Oxford, and Oxford is definitely becoming more available. If people feel that they're more safe using the Oxford one, go for it. If people want the Pfizer one because of what they've heard, go for it. So they both have their, pros and cons. I would just research into both of them and just find out what's actually right for you. Also, if you're allergic to maybe one ingredient in one vaccine, you might be able to get the other. Ask your doctor about it, see what's best for you if you have loads of allergies. As I said, before you even have the jab, they will go through all of your allergies, any medical history that you've recently gone and undertaken. They will go through everything and just make sure with a doctor that you're actually okay to have the jab. I don't want to also guarantee that everyone will have the same experience as I did, because everyone is different. So one of the questions they do ask is, if you've been vaccinated before, then at least you're used to being vaccinated. So if you've never had a vaccine before in your life, you've got to be aware that there could be side effects because you have no idea how you react to a vaccine. But if you were vaccinated from a baby, then you'll probably experience similar side effects of what you've happened before, or you might experience some new ones. But as I said, just report them to your doctor if you have any. And from my knowledge so far, no one has turned into a zombie or a vampire or has grown 3 years, you know what I mean? Like, no one has gone through that I'm aware of. So everyone's just had quite normal side effects from the people I know. And as I said, this is just a video to show you my journey and how I got affected, and it wasn't that bad for me. So I'm just trying to make people feel more comfortable with the fact that it is just a vaccine. The difference with this one is that they have got this out so quickly, but because they've gotten it out so quickly, it's because people were so desperate for this vaccine, and they have done so many testings on this vaccine to make sure it is safe and that it's, you know, going to be effective. And at the end of the day, we just have to trust scientists, we have to trust doctors, and fair enough, if you don't want it right now, that is your choice, human rights, so you don't have to have it right now. You can just watch maybe other people have it done and be like, okay, well, I'm going to see how they get on and then I'm going to have it. So, you know, you can do that. Personally, I would get it done. I hope this video is helpful for anyone who is thinking of getting the vaccine, has been offered the vaccine and is a little bit nervous. I would just say it is your decision, but make the right one for you. Anyway, I'll see you in my next video and stay safe. Bye guys.